I'm here at Trinity College at the University of Oxford to answer the question, what is tort? If we want to know what the word tort means, we should probably start by getting into the library. The word tort appears in Middle English, where it meant wrong or injury. It came by way of Old French from medieval Latin, tortum, which meant wrong or injustice. And that derived from Latin torcere, which meant to twist. The word tort is related to torque and torture. But it doesn't say that in this book. This is just a book I grabbed off the wall as a prop. It's an old book, but it's not medieval. The University of Oxford is one of the oldest universities on earth. You can tell even here in the garden where they have one of the world's oldest folding chairs. Look at this. It's covered in lichen. What is torts? What is tort law? It might be easier to start off by saying what torts is not. Tort law is not contract law. It's not property law. It's not special causes of action that were created by statute, like patent infringement, employment discrimination. It's not criminal law, which is where the state is prosecuting someone under the threat of some criminal penalty like a fine or imprisonment. But tort law does include many of the things that might come to mind as a reason why one person might sue another person. For instance, if you are texting while driving and you cause a car wreck, that would be the tort of negligence. If you throw a brick through someone else's window, that would be the tort of trespass to land. Or if you kick someone in the shin, that would be the tort of battery. Now, if you kick someone in the face, that would also be the tort of battery. But I would say you must have very good leg extension and you must be quite limber. One way to think about torts is to consider its place in the trinity of first year of law school common law subjects: property, contracts, and torts. Property is concerned with who owns what, contracts with the enforcement of promises, and torts with giving people a claim to sue someone else for damaging them or their property or some other interest they have. Trinity, like most Oxford colleges, is very proud of its gardens. So maybe a flower analogy would be helpful. Let's say this is your flower and you give it to me so that now it's mine. That would be an illustration of property law in action. Let's say that I promise to deliver this flower to your true love in exchange for £3 and 10 pence. That would be an illustration of contract law. Now, let's say this flower is yours and I take it and do this. That would be an illustration of tort law. So we've talked about the word tort, we've talked about what tort law is not, and we've given some examples of torts, and we've talked about its place in the 1L curriculum. But that still might leave you unsatisfied. You want a definition of torts. So maybe I should go back into the library and look at some books. As a law professor, I'm not supposed to be allergic to reading, so that seems fair. Looking through those books, here's what I found. People agree tort is kind of hard to define. A starting definition is law that provides a civil claim to redress a wrong or a harm or an injury. But that definition's over-inclusive. It does not include contracts. Someone could say, oh, I've been harmed by you breaching our contract, but tort law doesn't include that. And no one seems to think that tort law includes all the statutory causes of action where one person might be able to say, you did me wrong, like patent infringement or employment discrimination. We could say those are wrongs, they're civilly redressable, but they're not called torts. It's understood that tort is a common law subject, but it can be modified by statute. Another thing that books say is that there may be no unifying concept of what a tort is. It might be best to think about it as a bucket that contains many different claims, such as negligence, conversion, strict liability for ultra-hazardous activities, battery, strict liability for defective products, assault, libel, false imprisonment, slander, trespass to land. It's for an educational video, so I think it should be okay. She torts me. She torts me not. She torts me. She torts me not. She torts me. She torts me not. She torts me. Negligence.